Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Week 4 Recap Show. He's James Moynihan, I'm Ross Berge. We've got to start off with Mr. Mirzoyan, who starts off undefeated on the season thus far.
Well, you got to put a little bit of an asterisk next to that. He may be undefeated, but he certainly has not won every game that he's played. Very interesting, though, to see Al also has not lost.
This is true. I think his team looks pretty good. He's got 3 formidable running backs there. Not a great receiving core, but we'll see if he can make any trades to improve his squad. All right, let's do a quick rundown of last week. We got Fat Albert's Fan Club, 111. Doug lied about his vasectomy, 71. Johnny defeats previously undefeated Chooch, who actually loses Kenny Britt for the year with a torn ACL.
Terrible loss for Chuck, and even tougher for Rag, who had just dropped Nate Washington earlier. We move on to the Too Big to Fail versus the Corporate Fat Cats. Jake overcomes the loss of Arian Foster to an injury and the loss of Peyton Hillis to a little sore throat as he defeats Jed behind big days from Jeremichael Finley and Joe Flacco. Both of them combined to put up more than 50% of the team scoring. Jed still searching for receivers as he gets only 3 points from his Pittsburgh duo.
Yeah. Next up, we got A-Town Rat Tails, 100. To Kim Kardashian's lack of Bush, 65. Jimbo puts together his highest point total of the young season as Darren McFadden runs all over Andy's Jets.
Next up is Rex Ryan's Pedophiles versus Bergilicious in a low-scoring affair. Ross goes from worst to first to worst again on the young season as he records only 47 points. Al gets a big day from Ryan Matthews, and that's about it. So that's really all he needed to remain undefeated. Put an asterisk next to that.
Yeah, that was unimpressive by my team. I'll try to bounce back next week. Honolulu Flying Hawaiians 88, Fighting Frog Swabs 62. Raggers gets his first victory of the year, but his prized possession Michael Vick injures his hand in the process. Not looking good.
Yeah, Rag took a couple big gambles with Vic and Gates early on, and it is not paying off here in the young season. Andy, Kindergarten Cop versus Hainsworth's Jiggly Tits, faces off against BMAC. Andy and BMAC both made big trades last week, acquiring Adrian Peterson and Chris Johnson, but Andy actually stands tall in another low-scoring matchup. Calvin Johnson continues an absolutely monster season as he now has 6 touchdowns in only 3 games. Unbelievable season thus far.
Unbelievable. Next up, we have Grimsley Bears 125 versus the Thompson Takeover 99. JK got an unlucky draw this week as he put up 99 points, but still loses to the team that actually has the most points this season, Grimsley Bears. All right, we wanted to do a quick segment on the biggest surprises so far this season. To me, it's got to be the standings practically being flipped from last year, with JK, Rag, Jed, and myself starting out slow, and guys like Albert, Snoots, and John leading the pack. And then you've also got to look at players that are playing much better than their draft position would indicate, including Cam Newton, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Matthew Stafford, Wes Welker, Fred Jackson, and Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, to me the biggest surprise has been really the big play. Teams have really lived and died week in and week out on just a few big players coming up and saving their rosters. Not a ton of stability throughout the week, and that has really made the trade lines start to explode over the last few weeks as teams really search for an answer, look for that stability within their lineup.
All right. The matchups this week, we got Berge versus Thompson, Lynch versus Colella, McNamara versus Hart, Grimm versus Moynihan, Althouse versus McIsaac, Mirzoyan versus Snoots, and Masser versus Kavanaugh. Which matchup looks intriguing to you, Jimbo?
Well, obviously my matchup is intriguing as I face off against the Grimsley Bears. I look to knock off the league leader within the Hard Times division now 2 weeks in a row and extend my win streak to 3 games. But to me, really, the marquee matchup, or should I say the marquee matchup, has to be you facing JK as, again, the reigning champion. Looks to find his first win of the season after starting off 0-3.
We really got to find out how the reigning champ has fallen to 0-3. Unbelievable. Turn it down a little.
Any minute now. It should be.
JK.
Sure.
Hey.
There he is, J.K. Thompson, owner of the Thompson Takeover.
Hello, how are you, buddy?
So well,
Good. We got to hear from you. You're 0-3 to start the season, JK, after winning the entire league last year. What's to blame?
It's been a tough couple weeks. I keep staring at the plaque. I want to hold on to it. But I think my problem right now is just an inconsistency. A lot of the guys I was banking on early in the draft haven't come through. A couple of the guys I was hoping would be sleepers have really been just inconsistent from week to week. And it's hard to count on guys like that. Hoping we'll get things turned around, get a couple solid games from more than just a handful of players, and get a little streak going in the other direction.
Jimbo, you got a question for him?
Well, facing off against Bergie Licious this week, what are you thinking going into this matchup?
Well, Ross's team looks pretty battered right now.
We're battered.
But that being said, he did put up, 130 some odd points in week 2, 120. I'm kind of hoping that a couple of these guys may be held in check. I like the fact that ESPN is finally projecting something somewhat reasonable for Frank Gore. As it stands now, I think I'm projected to win somewhere around 15, 17 points. However, I know that a lot of these could be over projections. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and, if one or two guys from either team catches fire, I think that's the way the game goes.
Hey, I got a quick question for you on Frank Gore. This is actually the second year in a row you've had him. He's been a high draft pick both years, but a little inconsistent. Do you love him or hate him right now?
Well, let's not forget, I traded for him late last year, and unfortunately he went down with the hip injury almost immediately after I got him. So he didn't really do me much good there. But prior to that, he was putting up a nice average of about 15 points a game. So I know he's capable of doing that. And this year, he hasn't been able to get it together. But I think you could say the same about the entire 49ers squad. I don't think it's just Frank Gore to blame. I think he's got a lot left in the tank, at least for this season. So I'm hoping they can get some things together. What I do like about him, though, and especially in a deeper league, is just the amount of touches that he gets. And, it's hard to let a guy like that go, knowing that at any moment he can break off a big play. And he's getting plenty of opportunities to do so.
Right.
Sure, absolutely. Well, that sounds great. Looking forward to Sunday. Looking forward, again, more so to Friday night as Oso Pelagroso plays at the Velvet Lounge in Washington, D.C. We'll see you all there.
Paid advertising.
Good night. God bless you.
Later, guys.